Engaging slowly, airborne. Roger that slowly. Maintain 316. Objective selected. CW1, slowly in position over Gstaad Palace. Prepare to execute mission breakout. Roger that. Operation breakout. Go, go, go.
Citywire Switzerland 2013. The mission is clear. Storm the stronghold, escape the safe havens, take some risk. To kick off, our inside man, Michael Howell, handed over intelligence gathered from 80 central banks globally. He spoke of good liquidity, bad liquidity, investment opportunities, and the no-go zones.
Looking at liquidity and monitoring what central banks and monitoring what the financial system is doing is critical. Looking at money flows is really the only legal insider information.
The CrossBorder Capital man also urged investors that this was the time to move back into risk.
The first leg of every recovery is essentially an attempt to get the banking systems made good again. The second up leg, which is always about trying to buy cyclical recovery. Now that's the stage where you should basically be closing your eyes, buying risk assets, and thinking about a significant rotation away from defensive areas towards more cyclical areas of markets.
I think there is a risk-on attitude at the moment for a lot of investors out there because there's a lot of value. Of course, central banks are always going to prop up the market as far as they need to. However, I didn't concur totally with the speaker's views on the Eurozone.
We cannot find a positive liquidity message for the Eurozone. Okay? Because if you look at what the ECB is doing and you look at what domestic institutions are doing and you look at what foreign investors are doing, sort of parche the last 4 weeks or so, money has been coming out of the Eurozone.
Operation Breakout continued with Citywire's Deputy Head of Research, Frank Talbot. He told fund selectors that it had been too cautious in coming to the market after Draghi's do-anything speech.
I've spoken to a lot of fund managers on the record who said they failed to understand the significance of this moment. They were too scared to come back to the market and reinvest. And you can't really blame them, given what had happened beforehand.
But there was still time to turn it around. With his dossier of data, he revealed why the role of fund selectors is so valuable and why investors shouldn't be afraid to stick with their previous winners or explore new ideas.
Your ability to select has benefited your clients. Don't be afraid to stick with your core holdings around an inflection point. At the same time, try to fish around and see if there's not some theme that's been subduing the performance of others.
We're adding more risk to the portfolios by changing our philosophy from more defensive bond type investments over to more equities and looking further afield rather than Europe and the US into Far East.
When you have risk, of course, you've got more opportunities as well. So it's a give and take situation. And if you're fast enough, you can grasp some good contribution margins and increase, of course, your results.
Our final speaker, Tim Mondion, gave us a glimpse into the future, showcasing the latest technological developments and their impact on everyday life.
What we have given away over the past 2-3 years is our location. Because all our smartphones, everybody has a smartphone here in the room, they have GPS. Companies at this very moment know we here in Gstaad. This is where we're going. Google and Facebook and other corporations like that are employing psychologists to do data analyzation on the big data to predict behavior. And they're becoming very good at it. Facebook, for example, can already predict with 80% certainty on your Facebook behavior if you will still be in your relationship in a month's time or if you will break up.
By the end of the 2-day conference, Operation Breakout was nearly complete. Risk was back on the table, defensives were down, it was the time to strike. Mission accomplished. Time to spend the profits. Martini, shaken, not stirred. Thank you. Cheers. Thank you for coming to Citywire. That's the end of this year's event. We hope to see you at another one soon.